Let those among us who have never used the death of a grandparent, real or not real, in order to get out of something they didn't want to do, then you should not be throwing stones. If you have done the same thing that Miss Tlaib has done here, using her grandma as a political pawn, the best Joe Pags of all, Joe Pags, he said they get on Israel's soil and then they declare that they're standing in Palestine, and they do so as sitting members of Congress, as emissaries of the United States, on behalf of an invitation of Israel, and no one can undo that very thing. So we need to be working on solutions that are going to improve society. Like, how do we have the kind of rhetoric where ideas can be discussed in the in the beaker or in the furnace of truth, so we can have ideas that propel society and mankind forward? I believe that instead of getting mired down in, well, what's fortunate about this with the fact that, no, you're not coming in if you support the BDS. I got a dead grandma. Yeah, okay, you can come on in. It's, every year is grandma's last Christmas. And so, yeah, come on in. And then she says no. And then she fucking shits on Hydra. So it's like, okay, I didn't spend my Friday that way. And then Trump, mic drops the line of all lines here to kick it off like only the B-room headliner that we have dreamed into existence here. I tell you, look, say what you want. We grew up in the 80s with movie. How many movies did we see? How many movies did we see where the unlikely guy, the actor, the comedian, the social critic, the contrarian gets the job of world leader, and through his simple speaking, like the regular... Now, if you reject that call, then it sends a signal back to the robot that's calling you that the call was rejected. And if you just let it ring dead to its end, then you get put into a file that gets called less and less and less until it's not called at all. So it's simple. That, or pay for the robo blocker. I have that as well. What is it, $2.99 a month? And you will fucking keep a telemarketer on a line and have them waste their Friday like we wasted talking about this. Did I have a point on this? Yeah, the point on this is that we have big discussions in regards to how the folks in Hong Kong are being treated by the mainlanders, their immigration policy. We're looking at who is allowed to come in and who is not allowed to come in to Israel based on rules that they have established, and nowhere in there is a discussion. Or the name calling of so-and-so's a racist because they wouldn't fucking whatever. So on the southern border, we have that going on, and anytime it's brought up, then the fires of racism are stoked to get voters for 2020, and it seemingly is working less and less. And so, folks, we have to come up with ideas across humanity to improve this whole place for everybody and not just get mired down in the new NFL head contact where you can get a concussion now if you're a political operative or a reporter. You can no longer headhunt if you are a defensive player in the NFL, but you can headhunt if you are an allowed member of a domestic terrorist organization. So we've moved the violence from here and have it spread far and wide. As as society is either devolving or evolving, we just no longer have one single stadium where the whole city comes to watch the innocent being fed to the lions. We now have it all over the place with as many cameras as we can put on it because seemingly we cannot get enough of it. And so hopefully we can find a group of folks, philosophers, scientists, theologically minded, who's fucking Marianne Williamson and her fucking woo-woo shit. Get her over here. We gotta work out this dark energy. But it really does, I'd love to have just a society of people having very, very frank conversations. How about solving that? Let's not solve Israel. Let's not solve the Israel versus the Palestinians. Let's settle. How can you say things that are pro-Israel that are not perceived by the Palestinians as anti-Palestinian, and pro-Palestinian things that are not seen as anti-Israel things? So there must be a way to speak where, these absolutes are seemingly present only as illusion. And so that's as the conversation cannot even begin because the restrictions in it allow for nothing. And so anytime you have a restrictive element that allows for nothing, it's because it's founded on the traffic jam that it was created to be. So look, it's always going to be, an easy to macro look at two groups of people not getting along, and then you can always, attach it to whatever's going on here domestically, and then whatever's happening in the Far East to some kind of put the dots together, and we're going to sell you the storyline that we're going to sell you. Does that change the fact that it's Friday? I'm gonna be home. I'm reading books like a nerd. 1-2 books a week fill my head full of bullshit. So September 14th, class starts at the Denver Improv. Let's see, where phone number is put together. Website, I believe, is coming this weekend. We're going to have signups. I think the class has limited numbers. So because you can't have that many people. So whether if it's stand-up, writing, performance, MK Ultra, mind control, linguistics, different thought patterns, how to break a slump. If you want the fucking ins and outs and the tricks of all this bullshit, I'll fucking tell you. So come on, hang if you want. Anyways, God bless. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, there you go. Watch the political theater unfold as it does. The mainstream media now is the dog at the end of Donald Trump's leash, and as he tweets, so then they bark and run and beg and plead and do their tricks, and they continue to get fed. Well, they put on the show that they're the one growling so loud in the yard that no one would dare venture in and see that there is no man behind that curtain. So of course, the joke he lobbed at Tlaib today is a fucking huge. That's going to make a ton of waves. It's going to keep the conversation there. And then now you've got spread across this. You've got Trump saying that now Tlaib and Omar are now the new leaders of the Democratic Party, put together with Pelosi, and now instead of, which leaves AOC at the, not being involved and not being brought along. And he does that on purpose because now there's going to be more division between the AOC people, the people trying to primary AOC, Tlaib, Omar, however this is being put together is just being brought opposition as they are brought together and divided as needed to continue to be used by the military strategy geniuses that seem to be running the current news cycle and the United States of America as the ultimate WWF/E program that it has ever been. It is reaching a fever pitch, and a Hulkamania is running wild, and hopefully your patriotism and your freedom are running wild as much as you're taking your prayers and your vitamins, and as your blood flows for all of humanity. So that's it. Let's come up with an idea that fixes something, all right? And if you want to know more about the class, send me a message on here on Instagram or rockfin.com/JT. I got podcasts up all week, videos here, everyone I've made, except, there's Rockfin exclusive stuff, that's over there, and then the stuff that's on IGTV. And Rockfin is here, and you're watching it now, and that's how you did it. So more information, as more information comes in, I'm kind of, this is a side subplot that I see the bigger idea in it, and I see it for the distraction, and I see it for the slowdown of the news cycle that it is, and I see it as now they have to sustain the news cycle on their ideas and not his, and they're running out of time. God bless.